Are you a turkey farmer or you are planning to go into it? Before you lose your bets or lose your money, make sure you watch this video to the end. Now here are top 5 costly mistakes turkey farmer makes and how to avoid them. Number 1 on the list is poor housing and ventilation. Turkeys generally do not like a place that is too hot and also that does not have a good ventilation. If you are starting a turkey farm, please make sure your structure is a good structure and is well ventilated. And also, if you want to start a very big turkey farm, make sure you consult a consultant that will design a very comfortable structure for you. The turkey do not like to be overcrowded too. If they are crowded in a small space, they will easily contact diseases, they will not grow very big, and with time they will die. So if you're starting a turkey farm, make sure you give them a proper housing for them, and also make sure that the floor of their cage or the floor of their pen is always dry. And that's why it's advisable to always use sawdust or wood shaving on their floor. The number 2 mistake a turkey farmer makes is skipping vaccination. Vaccinating your birds is very, very, very vital and important in turkey farming, especially if you are running a large-scale turkey farming. In fact, if you have up to 50 turkeys on your farm or 100 turkeys on your farm, please make sure you vaccinate your turkeys. Do not skip any of the vaccination. And some of the vaccination I'll be listing at is the major vaccinations are 3 vaccinations. Number 1 is the Lasota vaccine. Number 2 is the Gomboro vaccine, and number 3 is the fowlpox vaccine. Now these are the 3 vital vaccines you should give your turkeys when starting a turkey farm. Initially, when brooding them at day 7, you can introduce your Gomboro vaccine to them, and then at day 14 you can introduce your Lasota vaccine to them. And then when they are up to about 6 weeks or 7 weeks, you can vaccine them against fowlpox. So these are the 3 vital vaccines you should give your turkey to avoid losing your birds or wasting your money. And number 3 mistake turkey farmer makes is giving a poor, wrong feed that is not nutritious enough. Now in turkey farming, especially for the poults, the day old, they need a very high standard proteinous feed, at least up to 20% protein if possible, or minimum 18% protein. And that is why you have to give them a good turkey feed. Sadly, in Nigeria, we do not have a company yet that is producing food specifically for turkey. So in that case, I will advise you to buy a chicken feed that has a very high protein. And some of these chicken feed, there are some companies that do feeds that they call advanced starter or pro starter or thereabout. These are good quality feeds you should buy for your turkeys, especially for the day olds. And they should eat this starter feed for at least up to 2 months if you can afford it. And then when they're up to 2-3 months, you can decide to give them your grower or your finisher. Depends on what you are targeting. If you are targeting the meat markets and also the type of breeds you are specializing, then it will depend if you will give growers to your turkey or if you give finishers to your turkey. Now for those doing raising foreign turkeys, specifically for meat, I won't recommend giving growers. You can decide to give starter from day old to 3 months or more, and then you can switch to finisher, so they can be able to grow fast and gather more flesh and more weight. But for those raising turkey for breeding purpose, especially the local turkeys, you can introduce the grower feed for them at their growing stage between the 3 months and maybe throughout their life up to 6 months or 7 months. When they start dropping eggs, you cannot decide what to switch over to layer feed. So make sure each feed you are giving your turkey has the basic nutrients, the calcium, the energy and the protein content. It should be very, very adequate and well rational in order for them to excel. Because if you give them a poor feed, they will not grow fast and you will end up losing money because some of them dying or not profit at all. That is why good feeding is very, very vital. Now the fourth mistake most farmers make is they don't have plan before starting the farm. They don't have any strategic planning, no market plan before starting the farm. In fact, before starting a turkey farm, especially if you are looking at the meat market or you're looking at the breeding market, in fact, before starting a turkey farm, especially for the meat market, you should know your customers. You should know who are your customers. In fact, how many are they buying from you? What quantity are they buying? These are the analysis you need to make before you start your turkey farm. Who are your buyers? Who will buy your turkey meat from you if you start a turkey farm for meat? If you start a turkey farm for breeding, who are your buyers? Who will buy the day old from you? If you're starting a turkey farm to breed and sell, who are your targeted market? Now these are the vital things you should list at. And some of the tips I can give to you in that, maybe number one, you can go to those into frozen chickens, frozen turkeys. You can discuss with them how much they can buy your turkey, how many they can buy. You can go to restaurants, you can go to hotels and lots of places, schools. Now negotiate with them how much they can buy your turkey, how many they can buy. All these are some of the vital informations you should settle before starting a turkey farm. Because most farmers make this mistake. They will start turkey farm 1,000 capacity, 500 capacity. After raising them to adults, they don't have buyers. They don't have who to buy them from them, who to buy the meat from them, and they end up suffering. They end up wasting more money. They end up losing a lot of money in feeding, running a loss, looking for how to sell their products. And these are one of the mistakes farmer makes. So please, if you're starting your farm and you really want to succeed, you have to have a market plan of who is buying your turkeys before starting a turkey farm. Fifth on our list is record keeping. Record keeping is very, 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 very vital when starting or running your turkey farm. Now, in your record keeping, you should know the amount of feed you are giving your turkey, how much you have spent in the feed. Also, you should also check your loss. How many birds have died? How many is alive? What vaccine you have given to your turkey? What dose you have given to your turkey? What feed you have given to your turkey? All this should be recorded. Do you know why? So, at the end, when you sell your birds, or when you sell the chicks, or when you sell them for meat, you can tell if you are actually making profit or you are making loss. Because in every farming, the main purpose of starting the farm is to make profits. So if you're not making profits, there's no need starting the farm, or there's no need continuing the farm. So doing your record keeping, you should be able to know when you are making a profit, or when you are at loss, or when you have broken even. So that is why you need to have a good record keeping in order to succeed your turkey farm. In fact, there are lots for me to say, the number 6, number 7, number 8, and lots more, but I don't want to extend this video further. But then, if you want a part 2 of this video, make sure you comment below telling me I want the part 2 of the video. Tell me the country you are. If you're in Nigeria, tell me the state you are, And if I get a lot of comments on this video, I'll make part 2 of this video. If you enjoy what I do, please like, comment and subscribe, because if you do that, it will help promote this channel. So make sure you subscribe. And also, I'm giving out a big shout out to Chinyere, also known as Chichi, my cousin and also a subscriber to my channel. A big shout out to her. And please, if you want me to give you a shout out, make sure you comment below right now. Comment the country where you're watching from, and also comment part 2 of this video. If you can do that, I'll give a shout out to you on my next video. So this is all for now. Bye.